Got my trusty old acoustic here. It's my old workhorse. It's older than dirt, and I was doing some sound experiments, and I thought I would share them with you. You can't see it, but inside the body, there is a condenser mic floating in there, and that's why you're here, to find out how that worked and what happened. I will say from the outset, there are better ways to do this. This is definitely a DIY, work with what you've got kind of experiment. So if you're planning to go this route, then find a professional to help you out so that you don't ruin your guitar. Good advice. The mic I'm using is this Audio Technica here with a clip on the end. It's a good quality condenser mic, and I bought it years ago for some other purpose. And this is what I had, so I decided to work with it rather than buying something new. And I just needed to find a way to mount it onto the body. So with a little bit of bending and grinding, I forged a bracket that looks like this, and it slides onto the threaded input jack, which worked out fairly well, and I added a little rubber gasket there to avoid vibration. The clip grips quite nicely, and I added a wing nut and a safety nut to hold it in place to keep it from spinning. And it's been in there for a couple months, and I've been carrying it around and using it on stage, and it seems to hold quite well. The next thing to do was to replace the old battery pack with one with an XLR input, and I found one on Amazon, and that of course meant cutting a hole in my guitar. So I pulled the old jigsaw and files out, and with the gentility of an angel and the precision of a German, I cut a hole that fit as snugly as possible. And the original mic came with a mini XLR jack, and I had to splice into the wire and then solder the wires onto the corresponding poles of the XLR input. And I used clips so I won't have to unsolder it to remove it if I ever have to. But soldering it directly on also worked. Anyway, this mic has an outboard battery pack rather than running on phantom power. And so I fashioned this cable here, which has one XLR and a mini XLR. So you can see how that works. The XLR cable connects it to the battery pack. The battery pack connects to your PA or whatever audio device you're using. And that's basically how it worked. And like I said, I've used it a few times at live shows, and I've been carrying it around. And I have to say, it does add some warmth to the sound. And if you mix the two channels together, which is what we're going to look at next, it does create some great sound possibilities for you. So let's see it in action. That was the stock pickup soloed, and now I'm going to bring in the condenser mic soloed, and we'll dare to compare. You'll hear quite clearly that the condenser mic is a little warmer. It grabs a little more of the low end. Let's bring the two inputs together at equal levels. My experience so far with this tells me that it sounds nicer to bring the condenser mic down to a really low level and just to round out the sound a bit and let the pickup do most of the work. I'm sure you can also see how this opens up a whole host of EQing possibilities. I like to run a little bit of reverb off the pickup channel, just to give it some room and sizzle. Anyhow, that's all I have for you today. I hope you have found this edifying. If you are looking for some suggestions as to how to improve your acoustic guitar sound, I hope you will all subscribe and like and do all of that, and tune in next time, and I will see you all later.